So I want to explain why the Nuggets didn't actually deserve to win the championship or didn't deserve to win in the playoffs to get to the championship again this year. And why, like all bad things in the world, it's actually Trump and Putin's fault. I'm not saying that the Nuggets, the players, didn't deserve to win. I'm not saying that the fan base didn't deserve to win, but the organization didn't deserve to win. And you think you know intuitively why, because they fired Coach Malone. Now, why is that Trump and Putin's fault? I'll get to that in just a second. Um, I've been sitting on this for a while because I'm tired of trying to be right before, be proven right by things. I didn't want to be seen as a jinx, although the worst jinx of the Nuggets right now is the Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey partnership. That jingle is so awful, I have to do a whole nother video about it. Um, but I'm tired of being seen as right, and I'd rather be seen as a fan. But usually, if there's an injustice, I want to jump right on it. If you know from my channel, I want to point it out as soon as possible. And I feel like if I'd done that this time, then maybe I could have got the conversation started. Maybe they would have even brought Coach Malone back to prove me wrong, or maybe they would have won to prove me wrong. But the deeper point is they don't deserve to win when the organization has fired Coach Malone for Trump. Now, I can explain this because people who know a lot more about basketball than me still don't know why they fired Coach Malone. Nobody knows why they fired Coach Malone. I remember when he was speaking out strongly for Black Lives Matter and against police brutality and systemic injustice and racism. He was one of the more prominent people to do it. Now, he's just a basketball coach, NBA basketball coach, fairly prominent, but not as prominent as some other people you were wishing were doing that at the time. But still, he was one of the more prominent people doing it, and I totally respected that and appreciated that at the time. And it's the first thing that came to mind when I heard they fired him, because it's not much of a stretch to think Trump could tell them to do it, or they would just do it proactively so to not rub Trump the wrong way because of his racism. And it's not a decision you want to make, and it's not a decision that should be rewarded. You deserve to lose if you make that type of decision. So, not the players. I mean, unless the players were also following Trump's example of saying rules don't matter anymore and getting their friends to gamble on the games, or whether or not Joker would take a shot, things like that. Unless they did that, and I'm not saying they did do that, but that would be another reason. Still Trump's fault, for setting that example that people can get away with that if they did that, but that would be a reason why they should lose, or why they would lose instead of winning, if that was the case, of course. But deeper and more importantly than that, deeper than the Tullamore Dew jinx, is if you do something to enable racism, if you do something to enable Trump and Putin and Trump Putineers, then you deserve to lose. There's no world in which you should win. There's no situation, there's no court case, there's no invasion which you should win if you're supporting Trump and Putin and racism. So that's why the Nuggets deserve to lose, but no disrespect to the Nuggets players or the fan base, or the city. I hope that Coach or to Coach Malone. Hopefully, Coach Malone wins more championships, maybe more with the Nuggets. Maybe we need to replace the leadership that made this bad decision, just like we need to replace the leadership of Trump and Putin that put this type of pressure on there by, hyper maxing the racism in the system. So let's cut them out. Let's overthrow the bad guys, and let's overthrow bad leaders of bad making these bad decisions in otherwise good organizations in good cities like Denver. Thanks, Denver, and go Nuggets.